wow. Ouch. Yeah, all profit is pretty much completely gone at this point. Oh, we can scout along this road? I didn't realize that. I would have been slowing down a bit and doing that if I had realized. 45, 53. Good job. Yeah, we won't go quite as far. We'll make sure we only go 7. Let's go... No, stop it. My choices are either there or there. That's not a long amount. Nah, let's stay on the road since we're able to harvest. Failed, but still brought in 200. I'll take it. Okay, got paid by our passengers. What you got? Arkin and Torzag? Yeah, we'll take a Torzag mission after I sleep. One time I'm going to do this in the correct order. So we'll grab that before we leave after we sleep. Transfer. Not going to do any of those. Mines of plenty. I didn't figure the mines into my possible stuff plan, so we need to check the numbers again. So mines of plenty. Let's start with the mines. Crimson Gate and Torzags. Alright, likely it's going to be this stuff, given that we're at a mine. So we're checking buy price versus to sell prices. So we've got a not terrible number here, at least 21 to 28, 18 to 22, 62 to 70. That's the entire list for the most part. 19 to 23. No good numbers to the Crimson Gate, so it's all going to be items to Torzags. What I worry about is I need to check Crimson Gate to Torzag. I don't want to fill up on these if there's a better opportunity for here to here. So let's switch to everything and check the Crimson Gate versus Torzag numbers real quick before I commit to buying a bunch of metal. I don't remember there being a really good opportunity from one to the other than, yeah, chitin. Chitin's a good one. That's not quite double, but that's a pretty good ratio if they've got enough of it for me to really load up. My worry is always the unknown about the far end of the trip and how quickly the price is going to collapse because of not being high demand item. So it's great if you can buy it cheap, but I mean, if the price immediately goes from 11 and you do your first stack and it drops to 8 and then it drops to 4, all of a sudden you're losing money. That's the hard part. I think that's the hardest part of trading. I mean, finding the numbers is fairly easy, but knowing the quantities available both on the purchasing and sell end that you can move is the tougher, more intangible problem. Anything else jump out? I mean, there's a few, like spice here has got a bit of a bump. It's mostly light specialty goods like spice and what was the other one I saw? There was chitin, jade, grain I think had some. So, do we buy metals from the mines or do we buy these items or do we mix it? Might be best to mix it up. That way we have less of a price crash on a single commodity. So let's go ahead and bronze 21 to 28. Let's switch back to metals. What was the better choice? Yeah, I think it's definitely bronze. 21 to 28. All right, we'll pick up some bronze here. Oh, jeez. There's one stack. Yeah, that's the problem. Eight whole units constitutes a stack. That's where it's also confusing, is if you're just looking at the prices, it looks like a good number. But if it's an item that only has a tiny quantity, you can make more money with a narrower margin and larger volume. So grain probably over at the Crimson Gates, we can buy as many stacks as we can carry, and there'll be large numbers at a smaller price profit potential, but there'll be a ton more. So you actually end up with a higher overall profit. Yeah, this is a problem. All right. They're all tiny quantities. Just absolutely tiny quantities. All right, there's no point to looking at the rest of this. So, we do need to sleep, then we'll take the mission, and then we'll get out of here. Just about done healing. 999, so we're good on all the stats. Grab the mission to Torzags, and we are out of here. We are running a pretty heavy caravan still, too. It's pretty expensive to keep all these beasts and people fed, and the limited volumes we're currently transporting is making it hard for this number to go up. So far, I think we're still losing money for the trip, which is terrible. We can make it there in one day if we push. All right. So, chitin, they've got stack sizes, 2 stacks. So we know that was a good one. Sorted by distance. Crimson Gate. Go back to custom. Crimson Gate. Get down here. Towards eggs. Alright. So... Actually, I think most of it was in this category. So grain, 9 to 12. Herbs, no. Spice, chitin's the best by far. Dyes if there's enough volume. Chitin, dyes, and grain. I think that's what we'll probably end up going with. Yeah. Timber? Really? Timber's got pretty good markup. Alright, what are we looking at? Unfortunately, we've already got a mission for them, so we can't take that one. We are going to diversify. Seven days on a major road where I cannot scavenge. That's not quite enough. I got no more space. It's gonna be close. Alright, we'll give it a try. Nope. Nope. 999 on the important ones. Alright. Gotta wait a day before I can do the fast move. We gotta switch straight to 100%, even if we lose nutrition. I shouldn't have done that. Shouldn't have done that. That's a nice long stretch. Not sure I can cut that corner. I was thinking of trying to cut the corner here, go off-road a little bit, but I think it's going to slow me down tremendously. 8 out of 9 is a terrible number. I hate 8 out of 9. We're already at 3 days food. We're a ways out. Not gonna try to get to Valarius. Do I risk slowing down to try to get food? Let's go one more day, and then I think I'll go off-road over here and try to scavenge. God damn, 8 out of 9. We'll go for 7 out of 9. Gets a little further off-road. I just need one decent one. Oof, 43%. Youch. Was not worth it. 1 day left, and we're still a ways out. I think I'm just going to push. we're going to go hungry. Oh, we're still a couple of days out. That didn't help. Crap. Nutrition 4. All I can give you guys. Can we make it? We can make it. Oof. That was close. No, don't end there. Actually, force march your way on in. Alright, that was way closer than I liked. I have a little better idea now, the distance involved and just how much food we need. We need to get up to about 8-9 days of food, so at least one more slot for food. The good news is the Crimson Gate to Torzag, it's one cost food at both ends, so it's not hugely gouging our money, but god damn did we. I hope we actually get some cash out of that, because that was a terrible trip. That trip up north to Salem bit into our cash reserves yet again. Okay, so turn that in. Really hope we get some money out of this stuff. We got our dyes, our grains, our bronze, and our chitin. So let's do the bronze first, I guess. So average purchase was 2.6, and we're selling for 5.6. So really nice markup. Or sorry, wrong one. 3.6 to 5.6. Please don't drop the price. It did not. Price held, and price held, so that's good. Next one, the dives, bought at 4.3, selling for 5.8. And again, price held. And finally the grain, 4.563. Yeah, price dropped a little bit on the grain, and then we've got our bronze, our tiny amount of bronze left, 2.6. To 3.5. Gee, look, we're back at 250, and we have no food. I have to resupply, so no money. Damn. It used to be a little easier to make money, it seems. Let's see what kind of lost position we're going to be in when I replace the food. Get us back up to, I think we were there. Yeah, we made absolutely no money that trip. We're back where we started. So, youch. That is a problem. Yeah, we haven't save scummed yet. I've taken the blows so far. Alright. Let's go ahead and make a save while I'm thinking about it. What are we on? B12. Okay. I'm tempted to try another Lumen run, but I'm also scared to do it because it'd be a huge loss if we try it. Well, let's try a nice, simple Torzags to Arkin run again. So, let's go look at what we got over here first. Merchant delivery missions only. So, we got Lumen. We got Devon. There's an Arkin. Another Devon. Lots of Lumens. Lots of Devons. It's the return trip from Lumen that scares me. I mean, we have a lot of merchant quests going to Lumen, or faction runs. Problem is, we get there, we get paid by the merchants. Maybe we make a profit on what we deliver beyond the merchants. Although the merchants, there's so many of them, we'd fill up our entire caravan. So it'd be just a merchant faction run. And when we get there, food is expensive and the crystals weren't selling for anything, which makes the return trip a loss. So I wish there were more. We got Arkin. No Arkin for you. One Arkin for Whoa. The ones I want Arkin from didn't give me Arkin. Hmm. Hmm. "27 days old." Normally I did previously Torzags to Lumen, then to Arkin. I think it was Mushroom Beer and Pottery outbound to Lumen. And then it was Crystals to Arkin, and then Marble back down to Torzags. But the Crystal market seems to have collapsed for my last trip there. We had to buy at 29, which is higher than the sell prices, so it's a total loss. So, I'm worried about that Lumen side. Unless prices, well, I mean, we know the price here. It's all a matter of what is the buy price over at Lumen. If that number hasn't dropped substantially, then it's going to be another total loss. I think I'm going to try to do an Arkin run first, and we'll see how that goes, and then I'll think about doing a Lumen run. So, is it Mushroom Beer and Pottery again, outward to Arkin? Mushroom Beer, 2 and 4, double price. If there's enough quantity that we can buy and sell the full amounts on both ends, and Pottery, 5 and 9, so yeah. Alright, yeah, we'll give this a try. Let's just get some Mushroom Beer and some Pottery outbound. We'll take whatever Arkin we can get. Oakwoe for Arkin. And then we'll fill in any remaining with Mushroom Beer and Pottery. Good old church. I don't want to take... that one's fine. And that one's also okay. But I need my own... I'm going to skip that one. I need my own trade as well. Alright. God damn it. I forgot to rest again. I gotta turn it into a habit that I show up at the city, I immediately rest, then I do all this stuff. Because I'm constantly losing a day of the fast delivery time potential to doing it in a wrong damn order. I just, as soon as I hit town, I get all excited to sell my stuff and do this other stuff, and then I forget every single time. I gotta stop doing that. Alright, Mushroom Beer. Plenty of stacks. So, there. We've got 6 days. We're going to be able to scavenge, because we're going to be going off-road, so I think we'll be okay with that. So let's do, what, 3 Mushroom Beer? Yeah, let's do 3 Mushroom Beer and 2 Pottery. Nope. Nope. Exchange news. I don't want to do any town stuff. No, let's not do any of that. Plus, I need to fit in. We gotta make a trip up to Avernum in the not too distant future. Otherwise, we're just gonna keep getting these attacks from the demons against our companion. So, I mean, ideally, if we could get a profitable trip to Lumen, the problem is buying food here is terrible. And we got a long ass trip across really nasty, weird terrain out here. And then north to Avernum. The only other option is up to Devon and then follow this one out, but I think that'd be really bad. We had a hard time making any money on that trip. What I might have to do is lighten the caravanserai with, or the caravan with the number of animals and stuff, travel light, just to try to get up there with a minimum of material needs. Load up just on food and just try to speed run up there to do that quest part. I was really hoping to get some money some money growth before I tried to make that trip, but it depends on how often these attacks are going to occur and if they escalate in difficulty. All right, focus. So, what are we at? 4. Ouch. So I need nutrition. We're okay on vigor for the most part, so we'll do morale nutrition. Okay. That got us to... Oof, we're still only at 5? How are we still only at 5? Was I at 3? Yeah, we should have enough food that we can manage it. Build that supply up. Get us up to 7. Alright. We're out of here. Let's go. I think we'll go the internal route here. Bump that up. Get me to do I want to be inside this section? No, let's go to there and then we'll go off-road next turn. Oh, really? Imperial Necromancer's War Camp. Gives me a move on option, leaving the encounter without altercation. Yes, please. Scared the shit out of me. Okay. We're going back to 150. And not doing those. Don't want to lose those. Yeah. Alright, off-road we go. We've got 6 days. Let's go. It's always going to end up being the wrong value. I'm not very often going to get a 7. Yeah, let's just go there and do a scavenge. Alright, 54% is pretty good. 51 with a 5 is good. Max guards. We're at 9, 9, 7. Cool. Not awesome. Storm, huh? Yeah, make camp. +2 morale. End our movement. $49. 57. There we go. That's what we were looking for. 600 food. We're gonna have to leave some stuff behind. Yeah. That's good. Alright, Arkin's not too far off. We're at back to 6 days.